that. Um, and besides that, it's just that I personally categorize Superman along with Captain America also because of the fact that they are basically the ultimate man representing America, and especially minorities, they just can't stand him because of that. Because everyone's felt like everyone up until 9/11, I should say, has always felt like a first class citizen and a second class citizen, I should say, second class, and in the comic kingdom, basically that's what those two characters were, basically in a nutshell. Now, when it comes to storylines, like I said, a lot of times, it depends on the writer. They'll make him like a real asshole, or they'll make him just so weak. I mean, there's times. I mean,
some they can read. They try to humanize the character sometimes.
Right.
They do that.
Right.
A lot of people don't get that either.
Right. I mean, there's been funny times. I mean, I've always been an off and on Superman reader because just like Mark and Brian, it's like, what else can they do with him? There's nothing else they can really do with him. And the main stories that stick in my head about Superman in his own books have been old stories like when he lost all his powers due to red kryptonite, and basically he had to do all kinds of things to really make sure that people still knew Superman was around. He just didn't have any powers anymore. And that was the same issue that I tell everybody that was the same issue that a brother beat Superman down with a rock. And that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. I mean, to see that, and I know if Brian ever saw that issue, he would love it.
Yeah, I would.
Somebody should make a fan film of that where it's like.
There we go. That's gonna be my first feature. That's gonna be my first feature right there.
I mean, besides, little things like that, another stories like that, and I mean, and going by the little debate that Brian and Corey was having was the fact that how many people have different opinions about what Superman is, and it's very true. And I mean, if you even go by his weeknesses, like I said, most people don't know all his weaknesses.
They don't.
And
they really don't.
And technically, those who read the books, everybody who watch Super Friends, who everyone says is the weakest member of the Super Friends, Aquaman. Because all he could do was talk to fish. But if you ask me, I've always said Superman was the weakest member of the Super Friends. Why? Because everyone knew his weakness. And if you watch the cartoons, who did they always take out first? Superman.
Yeah, Kryptonite. Yeah, take that Superman. We got you now.
That's not his only weakness. It's magic.
Right, and magic, because the fact that when it comes to magic, Superman is just like anybody else. He's just normal. There's nothing he can do unless he gets someone with magic just like him. Well, so unless he has the Spectre at his side, or Dr. Fate, or Zatanna, yeah, there's nothing he can really do.
Well, I actually remember them saying, well, Batman, I think it was said that he had 11 different ways to kill Superman, not using kryptonite. But we don't know what those ways are.
But it's depends on writing. Anybody can write some shit.
Batman.
But it's a writer. Anybody can say, can make that up. So.
Right. I mean, that's a storyline they never really, never really got into. The Batman files and how he could take out every DC character.
Batman had an iPhone in the 1800s.
Batman. Yeah. So I mean, besides that, and I mean, when it comes to his human side, the only story that really sticks in my head, that's one of his best Superman. That was one of the best Superman stories ever told. Was done by Alan Moore when Mongo took over his head, which was converted into a Justice League episode, and that was pretty good in itself. I mean, when it comes to his humane side, I mean, they could do more with him being Clark Kent than they can with Superman, because I think a lot of people feel
the books they do that. I think
right.
It's between what they see in the animation, the movies, and the books.
Right. And I mean, it's just that it's like they're saying Superman's. I mean, to a lot of people, Superman is basically it. That's the boundary. Yeah. You can't go any further than him. On Earth, and what also would amaze you as well is that a lot of people don't realize he's not human. He's not, he's not a human being. He still is an alien. People forget that as well. You know, so you really can't familiarize with him. I mean, I guess that's why nowadays, you know, if you're not Wolverine, Batman, or Spider-Man, you know, you know, the three heroes that everyone can somewhat relate to. Well, I don't know about Wolverine, but still.
I can relate to Wolverine. All on steel.
You know, it's just that with Superman, you're basically dealing with dated views of what America was, and the fact that no one can revamp him, no one can change him. As many times as they tried to redo his origins, the many times they've tried to do new stories and to introduce new villains to really challenge him, they keep getting to that they keep going to the brink in the fact that there's nothing else they can do.
Well,
did you read Birthright?
I did read Birthright.
I have a question for you then. For people like me and Mark, I would say, what do you think they would need to do to Superman to basically make him, well, like me and people like me and Mark, to like Superman?
And I guess that comes down to the one thing that Superman would never do, and what a lot of DC members would never do, kill. And I
I
mean,
mean, it takes even that. I don't think that.
Yeah.
That's all going to do.
You think maybe Smallville had the right idea? Like before he kind of became this demigod and he's trying to discover
That's what I was
who he
saying.
is in
Read
himself. You think
Birthright.
that's really the only way
That's
this
one way.
generation would
That's
be
one
interested?
way. And even JMS did one called Superman Rebirth. It's Earth. No, not Rebirth. It was I think it's called Superman Earth 1. At first, I was against it, but then as I thought about it, I was kind of starting to become more for it. Whereas they did Superman as a young teen, not a young teen, but a young adult, and he's finding out about these powers. He's kind of a loner and whatnot. I would say borderline emo, but they kind of like trying to, I guess, have a different universe of retelling Superman's origin in a different universe called Earth 1 Superman, and deals with him being alienated and deals with him almost pretty much like a fish out of water story in a sense. They kind of deal with that aspect of the character in that book, and it's not in the regular universe. It's the Earth 1. So if you don't like it, you can't flip out about it. They messed with Superman. They messed it up. Blah 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 blah. You can't flip out about it because it's another universe, another Earth. It doesn't count. So relax.
And you know what? What's the name? Leroy made a good point is because they put Superman on a pedestal. Because even though I hate Superman as much as I do, I love Superman Prime. I think Superman Prime is a great character.
he's back to Superboy Prime. He's back to Superboy Prime.
Oh, he's back to Superboy Prime?
Yeah, he's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See, well, yeah. You know.
But see, that's my thing. Why host Boy Prime over
Well, see,
Superman?
I can answer that too because, you know, let's say, let's put somebody like Dr. Doom. You know, let's take Dr. Doom for instance. Dr. Doom will be like, you think about how powerful he would be if he's good, but he has that one flaw. Same thing with Superman. Superman, he's so high up on this pedestal, but when Superman Prime, he has that one flaw that just makes him interesting. That just makes him so much more interesting.
He's
Superman
crazy.
too.
But Superboy
That's
Prime
what I
is
said.
Just like
It's
Dr.
a
Doom. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom is an asshole. He's
I mean, but think about, you know,
He's
would
crazy
you
too.
like Dr. Doom as good much as if he was a good guy? Like if he was a good guy.
I mean, that's
you
Dr.
know,
Doom.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, between Superman Prime and you can basically got two characters who basically are the same. It's just one flaw. They're basically the same. It's just one
Yeah,
flaw.
but I think my thing is with Superboy Prime or Superman, they both have the same power. I guess why I like Superboy Prime for different reasons because he started off saying, you know, I'm the good guy. I know his heart was in the right place,
Yeah.
but he made a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah.
And
it made
that shit
and
just
that
sent him off.
Yeah. And that made for an interesting character.
That's made this character interesting villain because he thinks like, you know, I'm not crazy. Y'all the crazy ones. I know what I'm doing, but he really is kind of really screwed up in the head.
Yeah, he is. And I
Doom
agree
is
with
pretty
you.
much like, you know, I'm the best there is. I'm the smartest man on the planet. Doom has ego.
Yeah.
Right.
Doom's better than
right.
Reed Richards. And
Right.
the cool thing about Doom is, like Stanley said it, I didn't think about it until he brought it up into it. I forgot what show I watched or what movie I watched. I think it was some DVD I watched. He said that Dr. Doom, he's an interesting villain because he has his own country. You can't go arrest him.
I mean,
You can't bring him to justice.
Dr. Doom is not that much of a, like, if he, like, you know, he's a bad guy, but, you know, he has his own country that he
has his own
does
country.
take care of, and he does
Take
care
of
about his country.
You can't say, you can't do that, you want to arrest. You have to, he's
Yeah.
like, no, like, push off me. This is my shit.
This isn't
Get off.
this isn't